What's up, everybody? This is Left Side of the Brain. Go ahead, do us a favor. Hit that likes button, hit the share button, and hit the subscribe button. And this is Left Side of the Brain. This is the realest channel on YouTube. You can bank on that. And what we're about to talk about tonight is some more real information. Now, on my channel, I rarely get into like other worldly stuff, like the social media, what's trending in the news. We talk about the news. We talk about certain topics that's relatable to what my channel is about. I deal primarily in HPB information, okay? But in this video, we're going to kind of swerve over into the other lane just for a moment. Because, you know, I have a channel and I like to stay current. And what's in the media right now, there has been a string of mass shootings as well as police shootings of unarmed black people, okay? But who we want to focus on tonight is an individual who I absolutely detest. And I'm going to tell you why. This individual goes by the name of Candace Owens. Candace Owens is the biggest sellout that I have ever seen. Because this woman, she makes it her job to be one-sided when it comes to racial matters in the United States. Now, for those who don't know anything about my channel and the HPB information, we have our own reason for why racism exists. But as well, we understand that there is a thing known as common justice. Common justice means that everybody is due the same amount of respect, regardless of your race, regardless of your nationality, or your religious affiliation, or even your sexual orientation. We don't support homosexuality as a lifestyle on this channel, but on this channel, we say that people you do as you please. Just respect us, and we will respect you, okay? Now, this video is more so based on the common justice and how Candace Owens, the sellout, how she plays the card based upon whoever is winning at the time, okay? A little quick history about her. Candace Owens herself was in a lawsuit, and she won a lawsuit because of some racial discrimination that took place when she was in high school, and she won some money, okay? And the NAACP helped her, okay? Fast forward years later, Candace Owens, she switched sides. She left the Democratic Liberal affiliation, and she's now affiliated with Trump. She's now on the pro-Trump thing and the pro-Republican, basically the conservative swing of things, okay? Which is really, really jumping boats in this world. It doesn't make a difference. Evil is what runs this world. On this channel, we know that two things run this world: violence and manipulation. Republicans, they use violence and manipulation. Democrats, Democrats, they also use violence and manipulation, okay? So her jumping sides, but that's not what this video is about. Just pointing out the hypocrisy. And to further add to her hypocrisy, she is a hypocrite when it comes to her viewpoints on the latest police shootings. Now, here's why. For those who don't know, and for those who haven't been keeping up, last year in March, I believe, was it March? Y'all let me know in the comment section. I don't got no notes in front of me, but I believe it was back in March 2020. Everybody in the world, we saw that shocking video of Derek Chauvin. He was kneeling on the neck of George Floyd. This was like in 2020, around spring, March. Okay, fast forward in April, just a few days ago, Derek Chauvin was sentenced as guilty. Okay, it was big news. Everybody was celebrating. It was said that if they didn't get the guilty verdict, they were going to protest. They were going to burn things down. I did a video about the verdict. Go back and watch that video. I gave my, all of my thoughts and opinions on that video. Okay, so George Floyd was found, Derek Chauvin was found guilty, okay? Now, Candace Owens, she started a committee by the name of Blexit, B-L-E-X-I-T. She started something called Blexit, right? So basically, it's Candace Owens and I guess a bunch of black Trump supporters, so-called blacks who are behind the conservative values of what the Republican Party stands for, okay? Nothing wrong with that, okay? Do as you please. I don't have an issue with that. What I have an issue with is the hypocrisy of Candace Owens. Now, when it came to George Floyd, this woman, she tore him down. Now, one thing we don't do as Jags, we don't tear down people. We don't even get into that lane over there. I'm just doing it because I hate hypocrites, and I will point a hypocrite out so people on my channel will know how to point out a hypocrite and how to deal with them. So that's what we're going to do in this video. We're going to methodically break down this Candace Owens and show everybody all of the points of why she is a hypocrite. Now, after George Floyd was killed, Candace Owens, she made this video. Now, you can look it up on YouTube. And she went in on this man. She was talking about his past, and he robbed a woman, and he was on drugs, and she made it seem like he was the worst individual that has ever lived. Okay? But the thing is, everybody in the world has a past. She has a past. I have a past. You who watching has a past. Everybody has a past, and everybody has skeletons in their closet. Everybody in this world has done something that you will die and take to the grave with you. Everybody. Nobody is perfect in this world. Everybody makes mistakes. That's why when they make pencils, they make erasers, because they understand that people are not perfect. When they make pens, they make whiteout, because they understand that people are not perfect. But she tried to hold this man's past up over his head, and this man is dead. Okay? Now, I found issue with that because basically what she was doing, basically what she does do, she's trying to win the favor of white people. And when people do stuff like that, it's so dumb to me. Like, but we'll get into that later, okay? She was demonizing this man before the public, like trying to air him out. All because in her mind, she's getting paid. Let's put that flat out. She's getting paid. She is a paid spokesperson for white supremacists. I'm not sugarcoating anything. This is Left Side of the Brain. I don't sugarcoat. She is paid by white supremacists to say things about certain black people that white people won't say. But they'll use her as the mouthpiece just because she's black. Okay? And because she's a female. That's why they're using her. Because they know the psychology of people. They know that, oh, if we get a black woman to say these things, and because she's a woman, she can say it with a feminine approach. Like the damsel in distress thing. Like if you hear a woman crying for help, help! People are apt to respond faster than if you hear a man crying for help. Or if you see a man on the side of the road with a flat tire, 9 times out of 10, people will stop for a female with a flat tire before they stop for a man on the side of the road with a flat tire. Have I said anything wrong thus far, Jax? Okay? Now, anyway, they using her as the mouthpiece for white supremacists. Okay? Now, she tore that man down even after he was dead. All because she's getting paid. And what I hate about it is she's defending this Derek Chauvin guy who is not a saint himself. He's not a saint. And just today, some more information about Derek Chauvin surfaced. And in 2017, the same thing that he did to George Floyd, kneeling on his neck for 9 minutes and 29 seconds. In 2017, he had kneeled on the neck of a 14-year-old black kid in Ohio. Knocked the kid out unconscious, hit the kid in the head, and I'll leave the link to the video with that information at the bottom of this video. And if I forget, please remind me. The kid had to get stitches. And also, Derek Chauvin had 17 write-ups for misconduct as a police officer. So, if Candace Owens, if she want to go into the past of George Floyd, then she also must go into the past of Derek Chauvin. But she's not going to do that. You know why? Because it's not in her script. It's not in her script to do that. Okay? So I found issue with that. How she would tear down one man, but not tear down the other man. Okay? On top of that, she said that Derek Chauvin was not given a fair trial. But I know a thing called karma. I know a thing that's called you reap what you sow. You sow a bad seed, you will reap a bad seed. And what happened is, if she's saying that Derek Chauvin didn't get a fair trial, well, guess what? Guess what? And I'm not going to even dispute that, but I don't want to keep this video too long-winded. If he didn't get a fair trial, which he did, if he didn't get a fair trial, what does she think about George Floyd? Did he get fair treatment? Oh, so he's supposed to not get fair treatment on the ground with this man kneeling on his neck, but you expect Derek Chauvin to get a fair trial. You see the hypocrisy? Number one, hypocrisy. She didn't go dig into the past of Derek Chauvin. And information is out that he has a dirty history. She tried to make George Floyd out to be the most terrible person to ever live. But guess what? Last I checked, George Floyd, he never murdered anyone. He never kneeled on anyone back neck until they died, suffocated. He never murdered anyone. So who's the biggest criminal? The person she was trying to tear down, or George Floyd, who she was trying to tear down, or Derek Chauvin, who actually murdered George Floyd? Then she went on to say that the black community is celebrating George Floyd like he is a martyr. That's what she was saying. Nobody said he was a saint. It's not about him being a saint. It's about common justice. And Jaguars, I'm on point. Don't say left side is not on point, because I told y'all about common justice in the last video. So y'all know I'm on point. So don't say I'm going against the teachings of what we stand for. This video is about common justice and being fair. I'm about fairness all across the board. In the Jaguar community, like, y'all outsiders don't know how we get down. We don't do the race thing. We use a code and a system. We use the law of exceedings to judge the things that we speak about. But for what I'm speaking about now is dealing with that outer world in the HPB realm. Now I'm using some terminology now all of y'all not going to get. You're not subscribed to my channel. You have to subscribe to my channel to understand what I'm saying. Now I'm talking about common justice that we all are subjected to, whether you are HPB or a United Soul. Okay? So basically, she's been a hypocrite, right? She's saying that you know, he's the worst person to ever live, and that black people are making him into this martyr, and we're celebrating a bad person, George Floyd. He's no saint. And I even heard her say sarcastically, she was on a whoever heard of Ben Shapiro? Ben Shapiro. It's a Jewish guy. She was on a Ben Shapiro podcast platform, and she was like, yeah, you know, and St. George, yeah, they're trying to make St. George. She said it sarcastically, like George Floyd is being viewed as a saint. And I hope Candace Owens see this video. She was saying it like George Floyd is not a saint and black people are celebrating him. But I find issue with that, because you, Candace Owens, you claim to be a conservative. And conservative means you are all about conserving American values. Now, here's the thing. Do you not celebrate President's Day, Candace Owens? You was talking about George Floyd, bad man. And that we shouldn't celebrate bad people, and he was a murderer, and he was a drug addict, and this and that, and he should be. So that's why you know, Derek Chauvin had the right to kneel on his neck, and it wasn't from the kneeling on the neck that killed him. It was from the drugs he had in his system, which the toxicology reports have refuted what she said. The evidence in the court refuted what she said. He died because of the suffocation. Okay? Now, since you want to say that he shouldn't be celebrated, do you not celebrate, Candace Owens, do you not celebrate President's Day? Who know about the history of the founding fathers of the United States? Were they not criminals? Were they not slave owners? Is that not a crime against humanity? Is that not a crime against humanity? Owning people? Putting people in chains? Is that not a crime against humanity? Do you try to demonize those presidents and say we shouldn't celebrate President's Day, because